A log cabin sat tucked deep in the Allegheny forest, where phone signals died and the trees listened. Inside, a man in his 50s flipped through a photo album, not of family or friends, but of crimes. Victims, newspaper clippings, case files, crime scene Polaroids. He turned a page and paused at a yellowed photo. 1986. Jonas Wilburn, later known as James Whitaker, stood in a shadowy alley with another boy, both laughing. The second boy's name was never on record. Until now. Lucas Dent, the now-revealed survivor and vigilante priest, stared into the one-way glass. Detective Marie Hall and FBI agent Thomas Kearns watched from the other side. "He's not lying," Kearns said. "We believe Jonas had an accomplice, a second shadow." Hall rubbed her temples. "So, while we were chasing Dent, the real mastermind could still be out there?" "Not the mastermind," Kearns said, "but someone just as twisted, maybe worse." Hospital, Emma wakes up, 3:47 a.m. The machines beep faster. Emma's fingers twitched again. Then her eyes opened. She blinked into the fluorescent lights and whispered, barely audible. Lucas wasn't alone. The attending nurse bolted out of the room, shouting for Dr. Hanley. Emma Whitaker had woken from the coma, and she had a story to tell. Flashback, 1991. Emma sat in a small Boston diner across from a stranger in a gray hoodie. "Jonas Wilburn is alive," he said. "He changed his name. He's starting over in Florida." She was 23, hungry for belonging, running from her own wreckage. "Why are you telling me this?" she asked. The man leaned in. "Because you're smart. You could watch him. Tell me if he slips." She nodded slowly. "Who are you?" "Call me the other one." "Now." Police briefing room. Emma, pale and weak, sat before the task force. "I met Jonas when I was broken," she said. "But I knew early he was hiding something." Her voice cracked. "I found clippings in his drawer. He kept them like trophies." She turned to Detective Hall. "I confronted him once. He denied everything, but he had that look, the one that doesn't blink." She looked down. "So I reached out to the man who warned me years before. The other one. I never got his real name." "You've met him?" Hall asked. "Once. But I think—" Emma looked up slowly. "He's not just a witness." Kearns' team recovered a VHS from a security box in Cambridge. It had sat mislabeled in an abandoned archive. The tape showed two teenage boys breaking into the Dent home in 1986. Jonas and someone taller, wearing a bandana. As the family was murdered off camera, the audio caught a voice. One clear phrase. "Make it look like rage, not ritual." Side plot, a new disappearance. August 4th, 2025, Gainesville, Florida. A family of 3 disappeared from their home. No forced entry. No sign of struggle. A note on the fridge. "He trained me. I improved it." The family was never found. The name Whitaker appeared once in the mother's diary. She had been a classmate of Emma's. Detective Hall's office phone rang at 1:02 a.m. No caller ID. She picked up. A man's voice, calm, collected, chilling. "You're focused on the flame, detective, but I'm the smoke." "Who is this?" Jonas was a tool. Lucas was a symptom. "I'm the story." "Where are you?" "Close. Closer than you think." "What do you want?" A pause. Chapter 4. The line went dead. 2 locations, 1 message. Forest Cabin, Pennsylvania. Inside the same log cabin, the man pins a new photo to his wall, Detective Hall. Below it, a sticky note. "She's smarter than Dent. Remove carefully." Emma's apartment, under police watch. A nurse delivers flowers to Emma. No name on the card. She opens it anyway. Inside. "You knew me as a friend. You married a monster. Now you'll raise my child." Emma drops the card. "Child?" She runs to the mirror, stares at her own reflection, confused. Her hand instinctively moves to her stomach. Her eyes widen. She whispers, "No." Emma's fingers trembled as she held the card. "You knew me as a friend. You married a monster. Now you'll raise my child. She slammed it shut. No, this isn't possible. Detective Hall entered, her face unreadable. You felt something, didn't you? Hall asked softly. Emma didn't answer. She just placed a hand over her abdomen. I didn't think I could after the accident, after the coma. Maybe you couldn't, Hall said, unless someone made it possible. Emma's face went pale. What are you saying? We found medical files. Someone injected you with hormonal compounds, fertility enhancements. Someone's been using you. Emma gasped. Someone was growing something inside her. A legacy, a continuation. FBI lab, Quantico. FBI agent Kearns held up a map, pins and strings. Every family that disappeared or died in similar patterns over the last 30 years, he said. Same MO. No signs of forced entry. Victims paralyzed or sedated. Letters or symbols left behind. He looked over at Detective Hall. One constant. Each family had either a survivor or a witness to Jonas Wilburn's original crime. Hall narrowed her eyes. So this was never just revenge. No, Kearns replied. This was a ritual. The other one stood before a mirror, his real name unknown. He applied a latex prosthetic, then a wig, glasses, a cane, from a briefcase. He pulled out a birth certificate. Name, Gabriel Whitaker. Mother, Emma Whitaker. Father, unknown. He tucked it into a file. This child would be raised under the Whitaker name, but he would not be a Whitaker. He would be a vessel. Lucas Dent sat handcuffed across from Detective Hall. His expression was calmer than it should be. You knew about the child, Hall said. I suspected, but I didn't plan it. Then who? Lucas leaned forward. You still don't understand. Jonas was a fire, but someone lit that fire. Someone taught him how to burn without leaving smoke. Who is he, Lucas? Lucas smiled. He's the one person even Jonas feared. Emma lay on the hospital bed, staring at the monitor. The technician blinked. Miss Whitaker, there's something unusual. What? The child. It's far more developed than we'd expect at this stage. And the structure, the neural activity. Emma turned her head, tears forming. Please stop. Just stop. The technician paused. You don't understand. This isn't just a baby. It's something designed. In a storage unit rented under the name Matthew Green alias. Hall found a journal. It wasn't Jonas's. It wasn't Lucas's. It was the other one's. Inside, notes on behavioral modification, early child development experiments, genetic engineering theories, a phrase repeated dozens of times. Pain is inheritance. Only the broken can be made whole again. On the last page, Gabriel will not kill for revenge. He will kill because he must. 6 years later, a small school in Vermont. Snow falls quietly outside. A teacher pins up drawings made by her students. One child's picture stands out. A house on fire, a smiling man walking away, and a figure standing in the flames, untouched. Name on the corner, Gabriel W. The teacher glances at the boy, who stares at her with emotionless blue eyes. Gabriel, she says, what is this about? He smiles faintly. It's where I came from. 6-year-old Gabriel Whitaker sat alone on the swing set behind Green Hollow Elementary School, legs dangling above the snow. He wasn't like the other kids. Not because he was smarter. Not because he was quieter. Because something inside him didn't blink. Not at pain. Not at cruelty. Not even at death. His teacher, Ms. Lane, had told his foster parents, there's something missing in Gabriel's eyes, like he sees through people instead of at them. She never knew how right she was. Detective Naomi Hall, now retired but still haunted, paced between dusty boxes. She'd spent the last decade tracking names connected to the other one, Jonas Wilburn's accomplice. They'd never found his real identity, never confirmed his face, never arrested him. But they had one clue left, a hair strand from a latex mask recovered in Pennsylvania. FBI labs had run the DNA again, this time with a new result, a 91% match with Gabriel Whitaker. Not the father, the report read, the creator. 3 months before she vanished, Emma Whitaker wrote. I tried to love Gabriel. I tried to pretend. But every time I held him, I felt him watching, waiting. And then he asked me one day, "Mom, if someone takes everything from you, should you take everything from them?" I told him no, but I saw it. He'd already decided. Emma left no note, just a burned photo of her original family, a red string tying all their necks together. Her body was never found. Agent Kearns faced a wall-sized screen showing a pattern of disappearances between 1994 to 2001. Families, couples, all with ties to the Whitaker bloodline. All erased. A new theory was surfacing. Gabriel wasn't just born. He was made. He wasn't a killer by accident. He was an experiment by design. We may be looking at the asterisk first successful intergenerational sociogenic experiment in U.S. criminal history. Kearns said, he turned to Hall, "He's not a child anymore. He's a system." Foster parents Lyle and Cynthia Mercer never noticed what Gabriel kept buried under floorboards. Old photos of James Whitaker, Emma's ultrasound scans, a blood-stained drawing labeled, "The Man Who Built Me." Cynthia called him sensitive. Lyle called him quiet. Neither called him what he was, the biological echo of a ghost. Confession from the other one, recovered tape, 1993. Jonas was never supposed to survive. He was a failed prototype, rage without control, chaos without vision. But Gabriel, he will be different. He will know how to hide in plain sight. He will not be moved by grief or rage. He will be patient, strategic. He will know that revenge is not loud. It is slow. It is cold. And by the time they realize, he will have replaced everything they loved with silence. Present day, 2025, Washington, D.C. A senator's home burned to the ground. No survivors. An encrypted flash drive was recovered from the ashes. Inside, blueprints, DNA profiles, surveillance images of every living descendant of the Whitaker name. All marked, processed. Only one name was left untouched. Gabriel Whitaker. And underneath it, activate. Phase 2. Sometimes evil doesn't wear a mask. It wears a child's smile. Sometimes justice isn't about what you punish, but what you allow to grow. Gabriel wasn't born from love. He was forged from loss, molded by revenge, and released into a world too blind to notice what he'd become. This wasn't just a crime story. It was a blueprint. And if we don't learn from it, it will repeat.